If you're trying to learn how to add grit to your singing voice, like Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, or really any metal or emo singer, there are a lot of places where things can go wrong. So let's walk through the most common mistakes people make with gritty singing. Mistake number one, using breath as your foundation. So a lot of people manage to find a bit of grit and distortion, but then they hit a wall when it comes to adding actual pitch. And they always think that it's something that they got to do at that stage to kind of improve it, but really it's more of a foundational thing that they kind of messed up. And so the reason why people generally struggle adding pitch to distortion is because they are using breath as the base of their sound. So they're taking something like this, and they're trying to stack grit on top of it. And sometimes it's not even full breath. Sometimes it's an airy falsetto style note. But here's the thing, as long as there's any kind of breath at the foundation of your sound, adding pitch to that grit is gonna feel really difficult. So instead of doing that, you need to build that scream on top of something more solid than air. You need to build it on voice. So if I use as the bass and try to add grit to that, no pitch. But if I start with something like and then add distortion onto that, way easier to add pitch. Okay, so mistake number two, using false chords as your grit. So you can technically use false chords as a form of grit, but there's some nuance here. If you're used to a heavy metal style false chord scream, that type of distortion is generally pretty hard to blend into your singing voice. Because as you can tell, it kind of overwhelms the voice and you can't even hear the pitch behind it. On the other hand, there are some softer ways to use your false chords though. So you can get them to flap in a way that sounds kind of like a squawking bird, which is actually perfect if you're going for an AC/DC tone. Now, you can also get your false chords to produce more of a buzzy Mongolian throat singing kind of sound, which works well if you're going for a Metallica type of grit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But honestly, most people watching this video and this channel aren't going for either of those. Most people want a Linkin Park style of grit, and for that, false chords alone aren't really the answer. It's more about doing fry distortion instead. Oh! No! Okay, so mistake number three, trying to get distortion by just yelling until your voice breaks up. So a lot of people just try and brute force their grit by yelling as loud as they can using their singing voice and hoping their voice cracks in a useful way. Not only does that not work, it can actually cause real damage, because when you yell that hard, your vocal cords start vibrating with so much force that they start slamming together. And if that happens violently enough and long enough, then they will swell. So first things first, don't yell. The actual way to get distortion is to close your vocal cords together and get them to sputter like that. And here's me doing that actually with my voice. So hopefully you can notice I'm not using a lot of force. So it's not about volume, it's about compression. It's about tightening your throat. So instead of hoping to get grit by just getting louder, think about getting tighter. Okay, so the next four mistakes are all connected, so I'm going to move through the first three of them pretty quickly and spend more time on the last one that kind of ties it all together. So mistakes number 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all about being stuck in the wrong gear of your voice. So mistake number 4, many people, they are stuck in too low of a register and they struggle to go higher. This is because they are stuck in their chest voice gear. I'm in my chest voice. So maybe you can add grit just fine. Hey, but the moment you try to go higher, it falls apart. Yeah. That means you only know how to apply grit in your talking voice, AKA your chest voice. Hey, hey, hey. Mistake number 5, you might have this problem if you're a bit higher than that, but you still can't reach the top of your range and everything starts sounding a little strained or constipated. If that sounds like you, you're probably stuck in the upper gear of your chest voice. So if this is my chest voice, then this is kind of a nasal gear. And many people get stuck here and they can add grit, but they can't go higher. Now, mistake number 6. On the flip side, it's also possible to be stuck too high when you're gritty singing. where going low feels really tricky and tough, and the distortion feels totally disconnected from the rest of your singing. For example, you'd sound something like this. Ah, yeah, this sounds fine for higher registers, but if I'm going lower, yeah, so this problem is happening because you are only able to do gritty singing in your head voice. So mistake number 7, which is, by the way, the mistake that kind of encompasses the past 3 mistakes, is that people don't know that they actually want to be doing the gritty singing in what's called their mixed voice. So many singers don't know what mixed voice is, and it's honestly one of the biggest missing pieces for gritty singing. Mixed voice is a combination of your chest and your head voice. And when you use your mixed voice, you get that fullness and low end from your chest, plus the brightness and range from your head voice. And mixed voice sounds kind of like this. So can you kind of hear how it's like, you know, both full and dynamic, where I can go high and low? Once you're in mixed voice, you can move up and down your range freely without feeling locked into any particular gear. And that flexibility is what makes it so ideal for gritty singing. I'm giving up, I'm sick of feeling. Oh. So if you want to go deeper on getting grit and heavier distortion, I made a video that covers all of that and goes into the anatomy of all this stuff. So this stuff starts to make a little bit more sense. And you can watch that for free by clicking the link in the description. Also, if you're interested in getting personally coached by me, I offer free screaming consultations to see if it would be a good fit. So if you're interested, then click on the link in the description because spots are limited. All right, I'll see you soon. Peace.